historical race, and yet turnout is exactly what we expected, which is below 50% and around 40%. 85% of the precincts are reporting in, and it looks like they're calling it for wrong.
Hi, I'm running for mayor of the city of Chicago. I'm running for mayor. Hi, I'm running for mayor of the city of Chicago. How you doing? Hello. Hi. Running for mayor of the city of Chicago. All right. I'm running for mayor of the city of Chicago. There's a little write-up about me with the Tribune.
Career politicians, doing business as usual, have cost Chicago taxpayers billions. Selling our city assets to private companies, not making education a top priority, fear of crime at an all-time high, while jobs are at an all-time low.
I'm Dr. Patricia Van Pelt Watkins, and I'm a lifelong Chicagoan.
Patricia Watkins is a community organizer. She's most known for her work on the behalf of ex-felons, trying to get them jobs, trying to get the laws changed so that they would be able to at least find employment once they come back into the community. I consider her one of the premier social justice organizers in the city right now.
I don't have many happy memories here. I mean, when I was a child, I was happy, but when I look back at them, this was the best place we had ever lived in our lives. We loved this place.
How come?
It had running water. It had toilets that flushed. The floor wasn't made out of dirt. So it was like a palace. And they got this place just boarded up, don't they? This is something.
When was the last time you were here?
Probably about 72.
You have not been back here since 1972?
No, I have not. It's been I guess almost 40 years.
What's it like to be back here?
I don't know. I guess this means a lot. It really means a lot. Because I remember living here and thinking this was the life. This was the best life, and there wasn't anything better than this. I remember going to school and believing I had the best school and the best teachers. And there wasn't anything better. All that proved to be wrong. All of it. It all proved to be wrong. This is where we live, right here. 861 North Mohawk. And the Johnsons lived there. Miss Venus lived there. And the Hell family lived there. People got shot a lot over here. Stabbed. People would be drunk. I remember my friend lived down the street, down there. Fabi, her name was Fabi, I believe. Her boyfriend shot her in the arm. And that was just so amazing to us, because she had to be 13, And he was an alcoholic. But he was drunk all the time. He couldn't have been older than 15 or 16. And we didn't see ourselves as kids. We saw ourselves as adults. We did things that adults did. There's nobody to say anything about it. This is where I decided when I was a little girl that my kids would never grow up anywhere like this. And, I just knew I needed help. And so I went to church. And that's what made me go to church. I said, now, maybe I can find God, and if I find God, maybe he'll help me. And I found him that day. In the past, you were spiritually dead because of your sins and the things you did against God. But God's mercy is great, and he loved us very much. Though we were spiritually dead because of the things we did against God, he gave us new life with Christ. You've been saved by God's grace. It became clear to me that when I looked at the candidates that were in line to run, that none of them really had any understanding about what really happens in the communities, neighborhood level work, because none of them have been there. So I felt a sense of responsibility to at least carry the voices of the people who live in the neighborhoods into the arena, because if I didn't think anybody would.
Usually such a candidate doesn't have name identification, so the voters don't already know about them. Second, they have no campaign experience, so they don't necessarily hire the best staff. Third, they usually don't have sufficient resources unless they're independently wealthy. And Watkins particularly did not have sufficient resources, and those that she had came mostly from the one source of the church. So there wasn't a broad base of support financially. And when that all comes together, it makes it very difficult for an outside candidate to win.
So we have a full team, full staff, 13 people who work for me. We have 2 offices on the south and west side. And we raised over $500,000.
So Chicago has 50 wards, and we've developed a 20-ward strategy. So we've got wards on the south and the west side that we're targeting. And within these 20 wards on the south and west side, within each one, we've also targeted specific precincts within those wards that, again, meet those criteria where we can most strategically and efficiently and effectively target voters to get the vote out for Patricia.
When you go out to different events, you share your story with people, and you share your policy ideas. Together we will.
The city has been ran by corporations for the last 20 years. They run our schools, they run our businesses, they run our neighborhoods. We have very little voice in anything that's being done here in this city. 55% of the adult black males in Chicago have felony records. That means they cannot work. They can't get into schools. They can't get into housing. Not for a week, not for a month, not for 3 years, but for the rest of their lives. So don't talk to me about budget deficits right now. Not on that subject, and not ever when it comes to black people.
I would like to...
It's a chicken and the egg. I mean, you can't get your poll numbers up if the media won't cover you, but the media won't cover you if your poll numbers aren't up.
Let all of the candidates be heard, so that people can make a fair decision about who is qualified.
The media has made a decision about who they're going to put forth as the real candidates, and that's sad.
Chicago has an odd way, to me, of covering these electoral campaigns. They decide right off the bat who's a viable candidate and who isn't. This is what the media does. So the top 4 candidates were seen as, of course, Rahm Emanuel, Gary Chico, Carol Moseley Braun, and Miguel DeValier. That left Patricia Watkins and Doc Walls out of all the major debates. And I'm talking about the ones that are televised, the ones that people are actually going to see.
So people can't hear how good Doc and Patricia are. And when you put the candidates, when you put Patricia and Doc side by side, the top 4 candidates, they're as good, if not better, than the top 4 candidates. So the journalists are saying, well, these candidates don't have a chance. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, see, and then the election's over. See, we told you they never had a chance.
First on Fox, candidate for mayor Carol Moseley Braun lets loose, ripping into an opponent for drug use. It wasn't pretty.
Patricia, the reason you didn't know where I was for the last 20 years, because you were strung out on crack.
Tension between Carol Moseley Braun and Patricia Van Pelt Watkins started early this afternoon at a candidates forum on the South Side. Watkins wondered aloud where Braun had been for the past 20 years.
We haven't seen her. We haven't heard from her. All the violence running rampant in our streets. I did not even know the woman lived in the city of Chicago.
I think candidates Miguel...
That's a sensitive area for many African-American families because many of them have family members who have overcome drug abuse. And so what are you saying, that once you have been a substance abuser and have overcome drug abuse, that you cannot then ascribe to have a better life?
People were insulted. And they said, how dare she say something like that? I mean, everywhere I go, people are shaking my hand, telling me how proud they are of me, and it's so nice to meet you. I mean, I could be standing on the corner, and people come up to me, you know, I was so mad at Carol for doing that. So everybody got somebody in their family been through that, and then she gonna bring that up, you know.
And Patricia Van Pelt Watkins has not been in any of the mayoral debates because she hasn't had the polling numbers to do it. So she's now getting a lot more aggressive and trying to get her word out too.
The forum was the only one to be televised that included all 6 candidates in the race to replace Mayor Daley.
I thought it was interesting because we had all 6 candidates, and so people didn't get a chance. And you saw all the candidates going, wait, I want to talk, I want to talk.
And what they would ask one candidate, maybe the one question that everybody wants to have an answer to. But they only let that one candidate answer it. They never let anybody else answer that question, which meant there was no comparison of ideas. But, you know, it was our televised debate, so that's the one we got.
I think where we are right now is very special. Sitting here 13 days before the election, I think that there's something very special about this, and about us, and about Dr. Watkins, and about this particular campaign.
We got 20 wards. We're going to split it up between West and South. I think we can do this. I think we're going to be talking to the right people. I think we're going to be talking to folks who no one else is talking to. I mean, it sounds corny, but you know, the fact that you're talking about folks that don't even usually look at our democracy and think it has anything to offer to them is a pretty big thing to be doing, and that matters a lot. And that's why putting the sign up correctly matters, and that's why having the events look.
8444. No, have you heard of her?
No.
No? All right. Well, Dr. Watkins was born and raised in the Caprini Green projects here in Chicago.
Please forgive me, but I'm cooking dinner.
Okay. But you know, the only way we're gonna get real change in office is if we elect Dr. Patricia Watkins for mayor.
We can get real change is to wait on God to move. Man can't do it. I know I ain't gonna vote for it all.
This looks like yeah, so there's a little hostility out here. But you know, just gotta go with it. Hey, how you doing? My name is Todd. I'm a volunteer with the Dr. Patricia Watkins for Mayor campaign.
She's running for mayor, Watkins?
Yes, sir. Are you familiar with Dr. Watkins? No?
I never even heard of her.
Really, I'm looking at their stand on education because I'm a teacher, so it's very important to me how they want to, the change they want to make within the CPS.
Yep. Great. Dr. Watkins also worked with President Obama. That's why I love field canvassing, is because you get to talk to people on their own terms, you know? Sometimes they'll invite you in, sometimes you'll have a conversation in their living room. It's fun, you know, it really is. I'm taking this all the way down to...
People from across the country, over 10 people from across the country, paid their way, got on an airplane, are here for a full week, full time. These are executive directors, heads of national organizations, lead organizers, people who've known Patricia, really support the values and vision that she stands for and want to see it happen in Chicago.
Among the people, we trying to tell you.
The last week is a lot of everything. It's a lot of canvassing, going door to door in the targeted precincts within the targeted wards. It's doing mass phone banking 24/7.
Taylor calling from the campaign office of Dr. Patricia Watkins. She's running for mayor of Chicago. Don't forget.
My name is Bob Wing. I'm a volunteer for Patricia Watkins for mayor of Chicago.
Trying to get to as many people as we can and get that vote out.
If people feel like, Rom got it, they might not vote. You might say, forget it, we don't vote because it's a waste of time. And then we'll have a lower turnout. The higher turnout we have, the better it is for me. Now, if it's a low turnout, I don't see it as being a good thing for me. 55% of the adult black males in Chicago have felony records. That's over half of our fathers and brothers and sons and nephews have felony records.
I want to know what kind of government sits back and allows that to happen. Now, some people probably say, you know, they did it to themselves, but the government has a responsibility to create positive interventions when it sees something like that happening. I'm going to change. I'm not out here to win an election so I can get a job. I had a job. I'm going to change. I need to see deliverance come. I need to see the yoke broken off our lives. I need to see our children get a chance. And I hope you join me and stand by my side, and let's make it happen together. God bless you. God bless you, Pastor.
I want freedom. I want a change to happen. And I almost feel like that's what my role is, you know, to be almost like the conscience. And also the conscience of the city and the agitator. To make people, because people can do better than they're doing. You know, this black leadership can do far better than it's doing. And everyday people can do better than they're doing. But sometimes you just need somebody to say, you can. You know, and also sometimes you need somebody just to agree with you that you should. You know, so I want to see freedom. That's what I want to see. I mean, the polls do not look good. You know, we can't hide from that. You know, but we have to see. We don't know. How you guys doing?
Oh, we doing pretty good. Yourself?
How you doing, man? Blessed today.
All right, Dad.
Yeah, you should be
All
blessed.
right.
And I hope you be. I hope you be blessed.
That's all right.
That's
God
right.
bless you.
That's right. That's
I'll
right.
be looking. I'll be looking.
How you doing?
You want to shake your hand?
So Warren Ballantine, his number, I have his number and everything?
Yes.
I'm doing that at 1010, right?
Yep.
And then we're going over to Wallace's.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think now you're just supposed to swing by the West Side office, say hi to volunteers, right?
God bless you. You go.
Thank you.
All right. Well, here we go.
See you later.
Looking like turnout's very low. I mean, which is something kind of expected and kind of a little bit unexpected. It's a historical race, and yet turnout is exactly what we expected, which is below 50% and around 40%. 85% of the precincts are reporting in, and it looks like they're calling it for Rom.
At this time, we would like to present some in the room and introduce the others. Our candidate, Dr. Patricia Van Pelt Watkins.
So tonight we come to the end of a journey. One journey, only to start another. And you are tired of being overlooked. You are tired of being underserved. You are tired of being left out of the Chicago politics and the cold Chicago winters. So to you that have been sick and tired for so long, let me say to you, this is not the end, but it's just one more step and a journey that will definitely lead us to justice. One more step.
Normally, we would have expected the turnout well above 60%, just because there were competitive races and the votes mattered. But people decided that at the mayoral race it didn't, that Rahm had already won it, so why show up election day?
think the media could do a better job in leveling the playing field. And I think that's our job. You know, we've abandoned that. We've given up on that.
I don't know if this is the case with everybody, but when I decided to run, I ran to win. There was no other, other goal. I mean, over time it became clear that the chances of me winning were slim. And at that point, I guess the major thing then is, because I guess that's what a lot of people would give up. But I didn't give up because I felt that I needed to use every opportunity I had to push the ideas out there into the marketplace. But that wasn't the case when I started. When I started, I had nothing in my mind but winning. That was it. Now, I don't know if I'm a mayor, Maybe I'm not a mayor, but I'm something. I'm somebody, evidently. But I know that I have a role in the city, and I have a large role in the city going forward.